back for our third episode of What's Cooking at the Capitol. This is a Facebook Live series where Molly and I come to you live from my kitchen to talk about important food and farm legislation and issues that you care about, to give you easy ways you can take action all while cooking a seasonal recipe.
Yeah, that's right. We're here to make it easy to support local food and farms with your purchasing power and your political power. So, what are we talking about today, Liz?
Today, we are going to run through just a quick deep dive of where things are at with our legislative items, and then we are going to deep dive into one soil health policy in particular. And because it's St. Patty's Day, we have made a Shamrock Shake. It has a healthy and local twist.
All right, great. But first, update on where everything is at with our policy agenda. So thank you to everyone who has taken action so far. Because of you, so many of our bills are well on their way. So Liz, tell us about the first bill.
All right, so Soil Health Week Joint Resolution and the Farmers Market Permit Act are pretty much set to pass. They just need one more vote on the House floor.
All right, awesome. And then our Local Food and Farm Products Act just made it out of the House. Is now in the Senate. It still needs to get out of the Senate Executive Committee in order to move forward. So a couple more hoops for that one.
Yep. The Black Farmer Restoration Act, the bill did not make it out of the House. So we are working with farmers and Sonia Harper this summer, and we hope to make a few tweaks to the bill and reintroduce it next session.
And Rep. Harper is the sponsor for the bill. And then for the Better School Lunches Act and the Partners for Nutrient Loss Reduction Act, both have a couple more hurdles to pass as well. The Better School Lunches Act just made its way out of the Senate. The Partners for Nutrient Loss Reduction Act is still stuck in the Senate. It hasn't crossed chambers yet. So we're going to be hosting a Food and Farm Day of Action on March 24th, next week, Thursday at 12 noon, to help get both of those bills across the finish line. So please consider joining us. It's going to be super fun. We have over 100 people registered. We're all going to take collective action, call our legislators. I'm really excited. And again, you can RSVP at the link in the chat. I think it's also scrolling across the ticker there at the bottom there. So join us next week, March 24th, 12 noon. Make your lunch hour super impactful. Okay, so the Partners for Nutrient Loss Reduction Act was one of the bills we just mentioned.
Yes.
Very long, complicated name.
Yes.
Liz, tell us about this bill. What does it do?
So the Nutrient Loss Reduction Act, SB 3471, may sound familiar. We worked on this last year, and you took action. You helped to protect a vital conservation fund. It's called the Partners for Conservation Fund. It's been around for 30 years, and it helps the state provide farmers with tools to implement conservation practices and build climate resilience. And last year, you also helped with really important funding to implement the state's nutrient loss reduction strategy. That fun thing we like to mention that is Illinois' plan to keep our waterways clean.
Okay, so this all sounds great. A bunch of things happened last year that sound super fun. What is the problem?
Right. So as we all know, progress and change take time. So from the latest report on the nutrient loss reduction strategy, we found that we have not made progress. The situation with nutrients running off of the farm has worsened, and our waterways have been impacted, including our drinking water supply, which has gotten worse. So to put an image to this, kind of think about those green algal blooms that you see in bodies of water across Illinois. The worsening situation increases the amount of those blooms. And for those are not the jolly ones that we saw last weekend in Chicago with the Green River.
We don't want green water.
We don't want green water. They are the type that impact our water supply. They kill wildlife, and they have are a direct result of nutrients running off of the farms.
Okay, so how will this bill help solve that problem?
So although last year we were able to extend that fund that I mentioned, it was only for 1 year. The funding, again, is going to expire this June if we don't take action to protect it. The bill does just that, and it also makes a few other tweaks to help the state maximize the use that funding to better serve farmers and build climate resilience. There are layers to this bill, and I encourage you to check out our fact sheet to learn more.
We got a meower back there. So the fact sheet, you can find that on our website. So Liz, can you help us understand, how does this actually work? Like, how does this bill help farmers?
Right. So for example, one of our members, Lee Kirby, wants to plant cover crops to help build soil health. Cover crops are conservation practice that keep our soils in place and our nutrients in place, and they help draw down carbon. but they are an added cost. It's risky for Lee because he may not be able to have that return on investment for several years. Because of state programs like those offered in the Partners for Conservation Fund, the state can now help reward Lee for planting cover crops and help cover some of those costs that he has. And that is why these programs are so important, because they can lessen that financial burden for farmers. And you and I, soil, water, climate, our food supply, and all of our communities can benefit from that healthy soil.
All right, I am feeling ready to take action. If you're feeling ready and fired up as well, to protect conservation programs, support farmers, protect soil, water, and climate, please take action now. We're going to drop a link in the Facebook chat. You can also find that link to take action on our website.
Yeah, so Molly's feeling fired up, and I think we need to cool down a little bit. So it's a really good thing that we made this shake.
All right, so try here. Hey, that's pretty good.
Yum.
Okay, so this is our shamrock shake. I'm not going to go through every ingredient. They're kind of laid out here, but just want to call your attention to a couple things. This is milk from Rolling Lawns here in Illinois. We also picked up some kale from, this is from Windy City Park? No, Itty Bitty Micro Farm. It's from Itty Bitty Micro Farm. And we also have honey from Quesabira Farm. So this shamrock shake is a kind of healthier version. It's made with milk and Greek yogurt instead of ice cream. We know ice cream's great too, but we were trying to get a bunch of our local ingredients in there. So if you want to try a healthy version of a shamrock shake, pick up those local ingredients or visit Buy Fresh by Local Illinois. You can find all kinds of local ingredients near you, including kale, milk, and all the other kinds of local things that you want to find from local farms near you.
Yes, so this is a really great green treat to celebrate St. Patty's Day, and I hope that it brings us luck to passing the Nutrient Loss Reduction Act and all of our other bills. So if you want to help push those over the finish line with us, please be sure to register for Food and Farm Day of Action next week. We'll see you then.
Cheers.
Cheers.